I want to welcome you to the first Student Success Awards ceremony, celebrating our incredible partners and partnerships that showcase the power of collaboration to accelerate progress and make a significant impact on student success in Kentucky. As you know, the theme of this year's summit is Partnerships That Work. I hope that by sharing the innovations, investments, impact, and lessons learned through several significant partnerships, that we feel energized and connected to our community, motivated to keep up this good, hard work, and inspired to explore and engage in more opportunities for collaboration and partnerships. I'm sure we've all heard the African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Well, the partners that we're highlighting this evening have opted to go far, and they're accelerating their progress in the meantime. Aligned with the Kentucky Student Success Framework, we have 5 awards to present this evening for outstanding partnerships making a significant impact on our statewide priorities of transfer pathways, gateway course success, student basic needs, and overall student success.
Oh, I can do that for you, right?
All right, thank you, Dr. Thompson.
I'm good at that.
Okay. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about the project and the partnership that we're recognizing this evening. Dr. Thompson is our pretty face, and he will be handing out the awards. And then we'll get to hear some remarks from our wonderful partners. So this is for Transfer Pathways Partnerships. In May of 22, the Council on Post-Secondary Education was one of 4 states or systems selected by NASH, the National Association of System Heads, to participate in a network improvement community focused on transfer with the goal to increase the percentage of students who transfer and complete baccalaureate degrees within 6 years by 7% by 2030. Due to strong institutional commitment to transfer, geographical proximity, and support from campus leadership, Western Kentucky University and Southcentral Kentucky Community and Technical College were invited to participate, becoming Kentucky's pioneers in improvement science. Over the first year of the project, campus leaders developed small tests of change focused on several institutional barriers that were identified. They asked, how might we reduce the lag time a student experiences in between admissions and academic advising for courses? How might we improve sharing of prospective student information between institutions? How might we strengthen the enrollment pipeline through joint admissions and reverse transfer initiatives? How might we remove a barrier for students by sharing transcripts? As a result of the hard work and determination of the campus team leads, the institutions experienced a 54% increase in transfer success, and we know that those students have overwhelmingly gone on to complete their baccalaureate degrees in record time. So the impact was immediate, and WKU has scaled the new practice and policy changes with other transfer sending institutions. So I just want to congratulate SkyCTC and WKU of the impact your partnership has had on student success and transfer. And a special shout out to Christopher Jensen, Dr. Marco Dumanchik for serving as team leads for WKU, and Dr. Lisa Hunt and Dr. Jennifer Shoemake for serving as team leads for Southcentral.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much to CPE for leading this work with NASH and also inviting us to participate. It has been a very wonderful 2-year journey on that. Thank you so much, Dr. Beth Collins, for leading us through all of this detailed work that we have done. We have taken a critical eye, and both institutions have really looked at our transfer journey for our student. Not what we perceived the journey was, but the actual experience for the student. A lot of times that required us to leave our institutional identities and our professional identities aside and really kind of see how we could join together in order to make the experience easier for the student. And if you're not familiar with improvement science, hopefully if you get an opportunity to do so, improvement science is about action. There's theory, there's a book, there's all kinds of stuff, but it's about action. And so a lot of times in this journey, we would be in a room, the 3 or 4 of us, we're missing one of us, Marco, but we would be in a room and basically would stay in that room until we came up with 3 items that would lead our transfer improvement. And so some of those times we would get really excited and we'd come out with our 3 things. And then after we left, Jennifer and I would say, what have we done? What have we committed our institution to? But invariably, when we went back and we told our provost, Dr. James McCaslin, we said, here's what we said we would do, and it's a little outside of kind of our purview. We got a lot of support, and we were able to make a lot of changes in our institution. And that just leads me, in my final comment, is to say, this experience has only further proven that when you're doing what is right for the student, it invariably leads you to have success with not just the student, but faculty and staff and the institution.
I agree with everything that Lisa said, but with this being the Partnership Award, I do want to highlight some of the things that happened with our partnership. We kept joking that it took us having to be part of this improvement community to be able to go all over the country to end up meeting when our offices are only a mile apart. With all the technology we have between emails, phone calls, everything else, we often don't carve out that intentional time to meet with our partners. This made us do it. We were locked in a room for sometimes felt like days. It was only hours, but we'd come out with those ideas, and we didn't allow the status quo, what we used to do. We completely wanted to change things and remove those barriers and go from small little impacts to really trying to change it completely. So if I can suggest anything to all of you, carve out time, don't use Zoom, don't use email, and if you really want to form a partnership, get together and talk to one another. Thank you.
Don't knock me off, okay? Smile and looks pretty, that's right. Thank you. We're gonna call y'all back up later.
Okay, our next award this evening is for the Gateway Course Success Partnership. In fall of 21, Bluegrass Community and Technical College began working with Pearson to explore re-engagement behaviors of students in college algebra and contemporary math. The intervention they explored was peer outreach. The outcomes of the pilot project were impressive, as BCTC saw student success rates increase 9 percentage points for in-person courses and 13 percentage points for hybrid sections. But the real magic in this project was that BCTC did not stop with their own success. In May of 22, BCTC and Pearson invited all KCTCS colleges to join an expanded research project on the impact of peer guides to re-engage students in Gateway math courses. 8 colleges joined for the 2023 academic year, with math faculty coming together monthly in a community of practice to share observations, ask questions, and propose ideas to improve student engagement in their courses. The project impacted 1,300 students enrolled in participating sections. Pearson Data Analytics found that 51% of students had a positive re-engagement with the course when they received peer outreach, compared to just 2% of students positively re-engaging with the course without that peer outreach. There were many lessons learned along the way, and many colleges saw significant improvements in course success rates. We want to congratulate BCTC for their exceptional commitment to innovation and collaboration for academic excellence, making a significant impact on student success in Gateway courses. And a special shout out to Kasha Miller, Assistant Dean of Student Success and Retention, and Morgan Slugantz, the BCTC Peer Guide Coordinator, for their collaborative leadership. And also a special shout out to the other 7 KCTCS colleges that joined in the project, contributing to the learning and improvements in Gateway course success: Gateway, Jefferson, Madisonville, Somerset, South Central, Southeast, and West. So thank you all, and congratulations to BCTC.
I am honored to accept this award on behalf of the faculty and staff at Bluegrass Community and Technical College, who work tirelessly every day on strategies and programs to improve the success of our students. And we do this for our students to enable them to improve their personal lives, the lives of their family, and to have an impact on the workforce of Kentucky. This award is so meaningful to us because it recognizes the specific work of our engagement with students in math. And like that was mentioned, Kasha has done some outstanding work, not only at BCTC, but through the state of Kentucky. So we are very proud to have her with us at BCTC. BCTC has also had the privilege to work with the Kentucky Student Success Collaborative since their inception. We value this relationship and the shared goal of working to accelerate progress towards student success. Once again, thank you, and we look forward to our continued partnership with the Student Success Collaborative.
Okay, the next award is related to student basic needs, and we actually have two partners that we're recognizing. I'll do them separately, though. So in June of 22, Kentucky joined a national cohort of states participating in the Lumina-funded Equity Policy Audit Project. The topic of our equity project was student basic needs. We led multiple discovery projects to learn about student participation in public benefit programs, student awareness of basic needs resources on campuses, campus communications around basic needs supports, and a policy scan of benefit programs' accessibility to post-secondary students. The results of the discovery projects affirmed our initial project objectives. We must do more to increase access to basic needs support for students, and we must work more closely with community partners to increase access to post-secondary education for individuals receiving public benefits. In spring of 23, 50 stakeholders from across Kentucky higher education, nonprofit organizations, and state agencies came together to identify areas of opportunity to achieve our two objectives. Leadership from multiple departments within the Cabinet for Health and Family Services actively participated in discussion, sense-making, problem-solving, and implementation planning for the statewide agenda for student basic needs. In a briefing meeting with Secretary Friedlander, we shared updates and emerging recommendations from the Student Basic Needs Action Network, and in response, he asked a colleague, couldn't we just put connectors on all of the campuses? Within 4 months, the Cabinet for Health and Family Services had put forward a proposal for full-time connectors or benefit navigators to be placed on our 16 community college campuses to lead outreach, benefit screening, application assistance, and basic needs referrals for community college students. The Connector Partnership represents a $1.6 million annual investment in student success with the vision of scaling to meet the needs of all post-secondary students and improve pathways to post-secondary education for individuals receiving public benefits. In the month of January 24, this last month, this was the first month that our connectors were all hired, they were fully trained, and they were in place on our KCTCS campuses, and they are already making a profound impact. In 1 month, the 16 connectors reached out to nearly 2,000 students, had appointments with 160 students, provided application assistance to 135 students, and provided community referrals to 31 students. This cross-agency investment to build capacity for basic needs supports demonstrates the power of partnership to maximize resources and accelerate progress toward the shared mission of our organizations. So congratulations to the Cabinet for Health and Family Services for their commitment to move people out of poverty and into prosperity through post-secondary education. And a special shout out to Secretary Eric Friedlander, Carrie Banahan, and Edith Sloan for sharing a vision, exploring the possibilities, and making it a reality.
Thank you all. I like to say I have two skills. One is my firm grasp of the obvious, and the second is my ability to recognize somebody else's good ideas. This is a demonstration of both of those. Basic student needs, we know, a flat tire derails an academic career. Hunger derails an academic career. Not having childcare derails an academic career. And how to get people out of poverty is through education. I was at a Senate A&R meeting, Appropriation and Revenue meeting last week. One of the senators asked me, how do we reduce the rolls on Medicaid? And I responded, higher wages. Well, how do we get there? Education. And it's true. And as we support you, as we wrap our services around your students, for them to be successful, that's what battles poverty. That's what battles ignorance. That's how we come together as communities, my firm grasp of the obvious, to actually bring programs together to make a difference in our students' lives and our communities' lives. One little political thing. There's a bill out there, House Bill 367, you all call and tell your folks to vote against it because it's going to take away SNAP benefits. And that's going to be a benefit to the folks we're all trying to serve. That's the end of my, Eric Friedlander approves of this message. But the other thing I want to say is thank you. And the more we're able to access these services on campuses, the more we're able to put the students at the center of what we're trying to do, the more successful our institutions will be, our communities will be, and our students will be. Thanks.
Okay, one more award for student basic needs. As we've continued to move forward with our work on basic needs, we've realized the intersection of basic needs with many other critical student success issues, like gateway course success, like adult learner pipelines. Basic needs insecurity is a reality for nearly 60% of students across the country, and in some communities in Kentucky, it's even more pervasive. Non-academic barriers often force students to choose between paying their bills or continuing their education, a choice that keeps people in a cycle of financial insecurity. Over the last year of collaborative work on student basic needs, I think we've all learned a lot about the labor of love that is relationship building, trust building, and partnership building. There is so much work that goes into the work before the work can actually begin. And yet so many partnerships end here because we just can't get over the political hurdles or the process hurdles or the paperwork hurdles. But tonight I'm thrilled to lift up and celebrate the Kentucky Office of Adult Education for their incredible partnership and commitment to support student basic needs, gateway course success, and post-secondary pathways for adult learners. In multiple Action Network meetings over the last year, the Kentucky Office of Adult Education has been a steadfast partner in the work of developing our statewide strategy to increase access to basic needs support for students and increase access to post-secondary education for individuals receiving state supports. Adult Ed has brought a host of knowledge and resources to the table to impact adult learner success. They have 24 learning sites around the state, 16 of which are co-located at our institutions of higher education. They have staff capacity at all of these sites dedicated to assisting adult learners with receiving education and training to pursue their career interests. They also have significant resources to address non-academic barriers such as childcare, books and supplies, transportation, or other basic needs. The Kentucky Office of Adult Education also has a shared goal to increase the percentage of adult learners with a post-secondary degree or credential as a part of their federal reporting requirements. The partnership opportunities around our shared goals as a state are endless, including child care solutions, post-secondary career pathways, emergency aid, barrier mitigation, academic supports for students in co-requisite and developmental courses, and more. I want to personally thank and congratulate the Kentucky Office of Adult Education on your vision to expand support to as many students as possible and to leverage a massive infrastructure and capacity to partner on our shared goals to support our shared students. I know that the work before the work is still in the works, but there is already so much partnership to celebrate. And a special shout out to Dr. John Gregory for being an authentic partner who truly embraces the mantra that we can accomplish more together than any of us can on our own. We're excited for all that can and will be as a result of the strong foundation that you have built around this work. Dr. Gregory? Ooh. You sat too far away.
So, want shows up in conversation. Expectation is manifested in behavior. I am so blessed to be in the midst of all these folks who, by their behavior, recognize and expect students, all students across the spectrum, to include working age students to succeed. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to stand as a representative who is not a worker. I am a representative of the heavy lifters. So let me say this. So Chadwick Boseman, the late Chadwick Boseman said, when completing a climb, you first experience dizziness and disorientation until you become accustomed to the climb. Now let me tell you this, adult education, folks completing the GED is significant. We have almost 300,000 folks in Kentucky that have not completed the high school process. But that is not the apex of the mountain. It is climbing the mountain. And this is what I learned. So I spent my entire adult life in the U.S. Army until June of 2019. And when I was going through Ranger School years ago, when we were climbing the rock, the mountain, so the person that's climbing is not by themselves. There is someone else who has the rope. In case you fall, then they can take the slack out of the rope and save you. This is what this entire process is about. Student basic needs. And I will close with this. I heard a pastor say a church is like a living body. When healthy, it will grow on its own. Hopefully, with the partnership with CPE, that we can remove the barriers that make these students unhealthy and they will grow on their own. Thank you, and God bless you.
For our last award tonight, we're going to recognize an award for just Student Success Partnership. So as you know, the Kentucky Student Success Collaborative is the result of a powerful partnership between the James Graham Brown Foundation and the Council on Post-Secondary Education, with the purpose and charge to bring us together to maximize our resources, to align our efforts, and to learn with and from one another for the benefit of students across Kentucky. What is unique about this funding relationship is that the James Graham Brown Foundation was a co-creator of the vision for the collaborative, and they have stayed highly engaged over the past 2 years as a support, guide, and champion for Kentucky's success. James Graham Brown Foundation's vision, partnership, and financial investment have transformed the culture of collaboration and problem solving in Kentucky to address our state's most pressing challenges and barriers to student success. Partners from all colleges and universities are engaged in various aspects of this work. The work showcased in these partnership awards tonight is a testament to the unique culture of collaboration in Kentucky. We truly have something special here. As I've met with leaders in other states that have student success centers, it's clear to me the distinctive qualities of the way we are working with one another across the Commonwealth. We have energy, momentum, and early impact that's a direct result of the culture of collaboration. In our recent summative evaluation of the impact of the collaborative, a college president shared, "If this work continues, I think there will be strong success within 3 to 5 years at a statewide level. The KYSSC effort is demonstrating steady progress, but there is still work to be done, and our students deserve for us to keep it up. Another 3 to 5 years. Sounds like a great funding proposal." On behalf of everyone at CPE, thank you for your ongoing support. We are so fortunate to have such an engaged and committed partner for student success. It's my privilege to recognize and celebrate the James Graham Brown Foundation with our first Student Success Partnership Award. And a special shout out to Mason Rummel and Blake Pickett for their support, guidance, and investment in CPE and the collaborative.
First of all, I want to say it is my pleasure to accept the Partnership for Student Success Award on behalf of the James Graham Brown Foundation and our CEO, Mason Rummel, and our Senior Program Officer, Blake Pickett, who could not be here today, but does a lot of this work day in and day out. When we were first thinking about the investments and the outcomes we wanted to see in education, particularly in Kentucky, we knew that it was important to, number one, start our work with individual institutions. So a lot of you in this room today. And as Dr. Thompson mentioned earlier, it's incredibly important for us to be aware that that is where the rubber meets the road, and that's where we had to start. And at the same time, we had the opportunity to engage many of our colleagues across the nation to see, how do we get something like this started? What does collaboration look like in other communities? But we knew from those conversations that we needed to find a statewide partner to help guide us through the process. And I'll say, we knew that after careful consideration, evaluation, and review, that the Council for Post-Secondary Education was that natural partner for us, and they have been absolutely tremendous to work with. So, I would say that our partnership with CPE has made it easier for the colleges and universities to keep this work going. We want to see it continue, absolutely, and want to know what is it going to take for it to move forward. I heard about a funding proposal. I don't know if that's coming soon, but something we should maybe think about. But what's been outstanding for us is that the Student Success Collaborative, we feel like it's working. And when you find something that is actually working, that's not when you stop. That's when you keep going. And we want to do what we can to continue to support CPE, support you institutions, to make sure that the work continues. I want to give a strong thanks to the higher education institutions out there. You probably hear it a lot, but I want to make sure I am clearly recognizing all of the hard work that you do every single day. We wouldn't be able to do this without your all support. There are other critical partners that helped us start this work and launch the work that Blake worked with, particularly Paul Markham from SOVA Solutions, who helped us actually form and launch the work. We also did a lot of work with the Gates Foundation to say, if we're going to do something like this in Kentucky, what support will we need from the foundation standpoint to actually make this successful? And of course, we want to thank President Aaron Thompson and Dr. Lily Massa-Kenny for being outstanding cheerleaders and really hand-holding with us along the way. It's been an incredible partnership. So one more thing I'll say is, this is one of the most significant partnerships that we talk about at the James Graham Brown Foundation. And the driver for this partnership for us is seeing more Kentuckians reap the benefits of higher education, which, as we all know, is social mobility, economic mobility, and good overall outcomes for Kentuckians. And that's what we want to strive for. So thank you so much again for honoring us for this. I hope that we'll be able to continue doing this work with everybody in this room. And let's all keep the good work coming. Thank you so much.
So just in my own personal wrap-up, I'm personally grateful and humbled to be able to serve in this role with the collaborative. I have just such a pleasure of working with you incredible partners day in and day out in a variety of issues that are all very close to my heart. And I think that when we dig into partnership and we share freely what we learn with our colleagues, dedicate our time and resources to supporting our common goals, we will improve the lives of students. So there's no doubt about that. So thank you for your investment of time and talent into this work, and we look forward to more impactful partnerships ahead. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Thompson.
Thank you. For the next half hour, I'll be, no, I won't do that. Let's give our awardees another hand, please. Two or three points I'll make about our awardees and about you. I mean, it's obvious why these folks received what they received. Many of you out there were honorable mention. It was tough. It's true when we say more than any other time in our, what I call my academic history, or any time in the past we look at where we've been, that it's time now more than ever to create partnerships and collaboration. But I want to make a point, and Lily, I'm making this for you and your group who's doing this work, Melissa Bell and so on. What we know is that many of us are great singers in our own backyard. We just are. But when we bring ourselves together in partnership and in coordination and in collaboration, we become a hell of a choir. And what we've been able to do in these short years of the collaborative, we've been able to create a critical mass choir that is forever growing. And without a doubt, many of you are out there singing harmony. I may get the opportunity to really be the bass or the lead singer, who knows. But it's about, though, the harmony. It's about the ability for us to bring ourselves together to say that students are truly the center of what we're trying to do, Eric, to build a healthy Kentucky and one that's economically advanced. But more than that, it gives these students a life that they can pass down to others, John, no matter how old they are or where they're at. It gives them an opportunity to leave a legacy themselves. So this goes far beyond just what we're talking about here. It goes to generations and beyond. I'm proud of the relationship we have with our campuses like Bluegrass, no doubt. I'm proud of the James Graham Brown relationship that I have a deep one with. But also, more than anything else, they understand the need to have a choir that sings well. This summit is truly about showcasing. It's about letting people know what we've done. But once again, as I said this morning, it's about letting people know what we yet have to do. We got a lot of work to do. We're going to have to sing better even. But I'm asking you all to invite more people to the choir. I'm asking you all to somehow get people to the point of understanding that every student, no matter where they're coming from, has the right to take part in this critical mass choir. Thank you. Have a great evening and enjoy yourselves. See you tomorrow morning.